Every successful YouTuber and their grandmother releases a "what if I started a YouTube channel today? This is what I would do" type of video. But I'm not a successful YouTuber and I'm sure as hell no one's grandmother, so this isn't that video. I am starting a channel right now with very little experience, and I want to see if my experiences from the corporate world working as a service designer will help me create good videos that people want to watch. I have done a little bit of video before. I have a semi-successful Skillshare channel where I share some tricks and advice about service design. You can check that out if you want to. And I've also done a very short stint of YouTube where I tried to build a root cellar and I tried to document that, but I really didn't get any views and I don't know if that will help me much. But I do have a secret that I think will help me succeed in YouTube. I have my service designer mindset, and I'm working as a service designer. My job is to help the people working at that company deliver services to their customers in the best way possible, providing as much value as I can to the customers. What happens if we take that mindset and we apply that to YouTube to deliver the service of a great video to the watchers? I'm gonna go with that I think are the most important things that I can take with me from my corporate job when I'm trying to do a YouTube channel really well. First, I think we should talk about why starting a project, any project, but let's go for a YouTube channel, is hard, and why I think a design mindset can help. The first problem that I think many people that want to start a project like a YouTube channel runs into is just getting started. How do we get over the fear of showing a first incomplete version? Doing that is really scary because showing that first version of something opens us up to criticism, both about things that we know isn't great and things that we had no idea about, things that we didn't know we had to think about. For me, in projects, this can make it hard to get started, but I think it's really important that we see this as practice, that we start working on something so that we get it out there and we get feedback. And that's one of the things that we learn in design, that we always have to make sure that we get something out there that we can discuss with our colleagues, our friends, our audience, and then we can get feedback back and we can start creating a new version of that is better. And part of that is just lowering our standards. Make sure that we are okay with releasing something that isn't the best version of something, because you can always improve on something, but at some point you're going to run into the problem of every improvement you make not actually making the end product that much better. So it is actually, in my opinion, better to just get something early out there, something like this video where I'm not thinking too much about fancy editing or making sure that my script is perfect. Get it out there and then see if I can get some feedback back. And if you have some feedback on this, please write to me and I'll make sure that I think about what you have said in my next video. And what this helps us to do when we get out a first version, let's call it a shitty first draft of something, is that for the next version we can iterate. We can make small adjustments. I could move a light to make sure that, I don't know, my forehead isn't too exposed. I don't know. Probably I will find something when I edit this that isn't great, and hopefully I can make changes to that so that the next iteration, which in this case would be the next video, is better. Crucially, I'm not going to worry about making this video perfect. I'm just going to take what it is, put it out there, and see what happens. Okay, but after we've been okay with putting that first shitty draft out there, what else can I think about that I can take with me in the start of this journey? There's probably many things along the way, but one thing that I think can be good for just setting up a project. Well, a while back, I was working in a car company. This was back when screens in cars was a really new thing and it was really cool. I was working with this company and we were going to create a new version of that screen and it was going to be great. And we experimented with all kinds of cool stuff, but we seemed to have a problem. We didn't really learn from what we've done before. So we couldn't take what we learned before and apply that to new things that we were doing. Every time we started a new project, we started from scratch. This, well, unfortunately resulted in everything taking a long time, and over the time that I was working there, the spirit of experimentation and all the fun playing that we did with setting up these new products kind of disappeared into just a lot of repetitive setting up projects and starting things and not really making sure that we could use what we learned before to our advantage. But I learned a lot of things about setting up a project, sustaining energy in a long period of creative work. And I think that I can take some of those learnings and put that into this YouTube. The first thing is I want to standardize as much as I can. We found that doing this really saved us time in setting up new projects. So if I have a thumbnail or a way of setting up a thumbnail or a graphic or something that I can reuse in a next video, I want to make sure that I save that and I make it accessible for me when I do my edits of the next video, so that I'm not constantly inventing the wheel, not constantly trying to figure out how to do things, but if it's something that I've done before that I can just take and I can put that into the video, well, I'm just going to do that. Another benefit of doing it this way is that it's going to be a way to make sure that the videos are consistent, that everything looks in a way that the people hopefully watching will be familiar with, and I think that will only help. The other thing that I want to take with me from my experience in the car industry is I want to set up processes. I want to make sure that if I come up with a good way of doing something, for example, take the lights, then I want to write down how did I set up my lights, where did I put them, what settings did I use in order to make something be good. Then I want to use that setting and that position in the next videos, just to make sure that I don't have to think about setting up the lights again. Once I have that written down and I know how I did it last time, it's very easy for me to just take what I did and improve it a little bit. Maybe I want to change the temperature, or maybe I want to position one of the lights closer to me. Well, then I know what I did last time and I know what I can improve. Great. Another thing is all the digital assets that I use. For example, if I find a good icon that I want to use and it requires me to put down some attribution in the description, well, I want to make sure that I have a standard description for the videos where all of that attribution already exists, and it's easy for me to go in and just modify the specifics, and well, saves a lot of time. In summary, I want to make sure that I just get started, get this video out there, and then get the next video out there and make some improvement along the way. That's what I'm doing with this video, and I'm on my way. The second thing is I need to have lower standards than I might have otherwise. Make sure that I get it out there and I get you guys' feedback, and some of my friends maybe want to tell me something about what they think about the video and what I can improve. I think already working on my Skillshare videos, I've been working a lot with the audio. Hopefully the audio on this video is good. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make improvements. So I'm gonna lower my standards for now, and then I have all the time in the world to become better at that as time goes. Last thing is, I need to create systems and processes and make sure that I catalog things and I have a good way of creating videos. This can be everything from ideation to setting up the camera, to writing the scripts, to putting up the lights, to editing. All of these things that I don't want to sort of relearn and do from scratch in every video, well, let's standardize that. Let's make a process and make sure that we're creating a good, consistent experience for the viewer, whilst also not relearning everything from scratch every time. If you like this video, well, I don't really know what you should do, because I don't have any more videos. I don't have anything that you can sort of watch after this. When I've created a new video, I'll make sure that I'll put one of the thingies at the end of the video. But this is part of the process. This is something that I will learn, how to make you guys find something more after this, if you liked it, that you can watch.